While inside, smoking is not permitted. And for the safety of our animals, please refrain from the use of flash photography. If you need to leave at any time during the show, please exit up the stairs where an operations ambassador will assist you. And now, SeaWorld is proud to present Rescue Tales.
There we go. Good afternoon and welcome to Rescue Tales, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Well, my name is Jackie, and I am one of over 350 animal care specialists right here at SeaWorld Orlando. And man, do we have the best job? Where do you get to wake up every day and work with some amazing animals and build relationships with them? Today, here, I'm going to go ahead and highlight these relationships that our trainers have formed with these animals, because every animal, whether big or small, plays a vital role in its ecosystem. And what we learn about them not only helps contribute to the well-being here in our care, but it also helps their wild counterparts as well. As we go through today's presentation, we're going to be asking you guys questions. Feel free to participate, shout out the answers if you have it. If you want to take a wild guess, feel free to just yell that out as well. But it's supposed to be fun and interactive, so don't need to raise your hand. Well, let's go ahead and shine a spotlight on some of our animal friends and start off by introducing you to Rain. Rain here is an 8-year-old Eurasian eagle owl. She actually came to us from another facility that could no longer care for her for the rest of her life. So we were able to step in and be her forever home here with us. Now you're going to notice she's looking around quite a bit. She can see everything that's going on here. Her eyesight is excellent, that we'll talk about in just a minute. But she can hear very well, so if you see her looking around quite often, she's just checking out all of her new friends. But these guys here, they are indigenous and native to Asia and all parts of Europe. So these aren't owls that you would see typically here, but they are very similar in the sense of the two little tufts on top are similar to that of a great horned owl that you would see here in Florida, which obviously they get their name from those two tufts up there. But going back to her eyesight, you guys are going to notice, whether it's up on the camera or if you're down in the front rows here, you're going to probably be drawn immediately to her beautiful eyes. Now those eyes are actually, if you were to take them and put them inside of our own head, it would be the equivalent of having 2 grapefruits and putting it inside your head. Yeah, so that's how big they are inside of most owls. And that is because they don't have the muscles, or they lack the muscles that we have around our eyes to move our eyes independently. So they have to have a few adaptations that help with their sight, one of them being their size. And the second one that she's showing off for you guys is turning her head around. Anyone know how many degrees owls can turn their head? I heard some 360s, 180s. We're actually going to be somewhere in the middle. It's about 270 degrees, 3/4 of the way around. Although it would be very impressive if she could spin her head in a circle round and round and round and round. I think 270 is also pretty cool. They actually are able to do so because they have more neck bones than we do. Does anyone know how many neck bones a human has? 7, I think I heard it, or someone said 70, but we're close. 7 is correct. They have double. So she has 14 neck bones, which does allow her to spin her head like you just witnessed. Now, moving on to her hearing, which I did mention as well, she is listening to everybody out there today, and that is because their hearing is excellent. They could actually hear at a lot higher frequency, but with a lot more precision, and that is because of the feathers around their ears. So everyone help me out. Take your 2 hands, put them behind your ears. While I'm talking, although it works much better for her, what you are hearing should be slightly amplified. Now their facial disc, that is those few feathers, do that for them, which does allow them to hear a mouse, even if it was 75 feet away under snow stepping on a twig. They can hear it, yeah. Now, has anyone ever heard an owl fly at night? Yeah, no, mixed crowd. It was a bit of a trick question. You probably have not, because they have an almost silent flight. They have comb-like projections on the tips of each feather, which actually muffle the sound of flight. Now, all of these things combined make them actually formidable predators and free pest control. So seeing them out there is a good thing. They take care of the rodent populations for not only agriculture and farmers, but also for your local residential neighborhoods, because they can be found in farmlands and wooded areas, as well as people's backyards. So they are a good thing to see, and they are what we call an indicator species. So that tells us the overall health of the environment is doing well if we see an owl. If you do not see one, it probably means that they left the area because the overall health of the environment was declining. So we want to be able to make sure that we take care of these guys and their population, and other wildlife as well. So if you see a local animal in need, all we ask is that you call your local wildlife center, because we want to make sure that they step in with appropriate care to be able to hopefully re-release them back into their environment so that we can enjoy them for many, many more years to come. Now, I think Rain did a phenomenal job hanging out with us today. Let's go ahead and give her a big round of applause. Now, as I said, Rain was from another facility, so leaving stage is still one of her newer aspects. We made sure that coming out here was super reinforcing and something that she wanted to do, that sometimes when she goes off, she gets a little excited, and we think she just wants to stay out here and meet all of her new friends. But coming on out here next is my friend Emily Ray to teach you about a local species.
Thanks, Jackie. So when you guys think of wildlife in the state of Florida, what's the first animal that comes to your mind? Alligators. Yeah, I made that question easy. I've got one here in my hand. This is my friend Everglade, and she is a 1-year-old American alligator. Now these guys are found all over the southeastern United States, ranging as far west as Texas, Louisiana, then of course down here in Florida. They're found in freshwater environments, so lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, pools, golf courses. I'm sure you've seen the videos. They can get up to about 13 feet in length and weigh between 400 and 600 pounds. So we're going to need a lot more hands and a lot more trainers when that happens. I won't be able to do this anymore. Thanks for laughing. They can live 35 to 50 years out in the wild, and they can hit up to 80 years under human care, which is pretty long. Now she's got some really cool features that I want to go ahead and highlight, starting out with her mouth. Now she's got it closed, but she has got quite a lot of teeth in there. Does anyone want to guess how many teeth she has? 28, that's really specific, but it's a little bit higher. It's about 80 teeth. 80 teeth, yeah. Which is quite a lot, so. And they will actually constantly lose their teeth their entire lifetime, just like sharks. So they'll go through 2,000 to 3,000 teeth in their entire life. Yeah, it's a lot of dentist visits for sure. Now, thanks for laughing. Jokes don't get any better than that. Now it might look like she's got some sort of armor on. These little bony plates right here, there's a really fancy word for them. It's called osteoderms. And they do kind of serve like armor and help protect her from predators out in the wild. And of course, she has got a super awesome and powerful tail. When they are fully grown, they can switch their tails back and forth in the sediment to form something called a gator hole. Now those can fill with water, and other animals in the environment have been known to use them, but what they're most known for is their nests. One super cool thing about their nests is the temperature of the soil actually determines the gender of the babies. So if it's about 86 degrees Fahrenheit or below on average, most of the babies hatched will be female. And then if it's about 93 degrees Fahrenheit or above on average, most of them will be male. And then if the temperature falls somewhere in that range, you'll have a mixed bunch, which I think is pretty cool. Another really cool thing about alligators is they're actually the only reptile that will care for their young after they hatch. So for about 2 years after these guys hatch, female alligators will help protect them, care for them, feed them, things like that. So you can see Everglade, she's pretty small, so she would have a difficult time defending herself out in the wild. But a point I really want to drive home is their conservation story. So back in 1967, American alligators were actually endangered, and that was due to habitat loss and hunting. But through 20 years of conservation efforts, in 1987, we were not only able to remove them from the endangered species list, but also that exact same year, they became the state reptile for the state of Florida, which I think is pretty cool. Now, I'm sure I have some Floridians out here in the audience with us, and I'm sure y'all were taught on how to coexist with gators out in the wild. But pretty much what that means is respecting them, giving them their space, not approaching them, and certainly not feeding them, as cute as they are. Now, I think Everglade did a fantastic job just hanging out up here. What do you guys think? And before I go ahead and invite our next animal friend out here, I'm gonna have you guys help me with this one. See you later. Alligator, there we go, thank you. After a while, crocodile. I've been waiting for that one all day, guys. Now, is everyone enjoying our animals so far? Yeah.
Well, this next one is actually one of my favorites. He has defied odds, and this is Panama. Panama is a 14-year-old eastern brown pelican that was actually rescued right here in the state of Florida. He was found abandoned in a nest in St. Petersburg in 2010. A local center was actually watching that nest, and it was pretty apparent early on that his parents weren't coming back for him. So they were able to step in, and he did not have the resources or the skills to go back out there on his own. So SeaWorld was asked to be his forever home, and he's been a beloved member of our family ever since, and an amazing ambassador for his species, and awfully cute, yeah. Now, these guys are from North America, even down to parts of South America. Although he's gracefully walking on stage, they do spend most of their time in the air, in the water. He has a 6.5-foot wingspan. Thanks for helping me out with that one, bud. And with that wingspan, they can soar heights of 65 feet in the air. Cue wingspan, there you go. 65 feet in the air, dive on down with remarkable precision. They have the ability to add some air right below their wings that actually makes the impact a little softer and protects all of their organs. And they turn their head just so slightly so that they can dive on in without hurting themselves. Now, when they get on into that water, they scoop up the water with some of the fish, but they actually do not swallow any of that water. That water is just used with that throat pouch in order to catch the fish. Now, does anyone want to take a guess at how much water his throat pouch can hold? It's in gallons, so we'll stay in gallons. I heard 5, a little lower. 2, 3 gallons. Yeah, 3 gallons of water, which I think is pretty impressive. But with all of that water, like I said, they don't swallow it. They just use it to catch their fish. They get all of their hydration and nutrients from the fish themselves. Now, Panama is, like I said, adorable. He's cute and he knows it. But unfortunately, his friends do face some threats. Now, the number one reason over 700 pelicans die each year alone is actually from entanglement. Entanglement just means that there's some excess fishing gear or other pollution that is out there that is affecting them. So what we ask is that something that you could do leaving here today, yeah, bye bud. Something that you could do leaving here today is actually just cleaning up your local waterway, whether it's your own or something that was left behind, that will help these guys significantly. Once upon a time, they were endangered, but luckily through many, many years of conservation efforts, they actually have become least concerned, and we would love to be able to have them out there to appreciate them for many years to come. If you fell in love with Panama today, we actually do have more rescue pelicans that you can see at the Pelican Preserve, which is right outside of our Manta entrance. Let's go ahead and give this handsome bird a big round of applause as well. As we conclude our journey through Rescue Tales, it is a reminder that every animal, no matter how big or small, deserves love, compassion, and a second chance. Here at SeaWorld, we are honored to be able to offer that second chance, and for nearly 60 years, we have been able to rescue over 41,000 animals with the goal of rehabilitating and releasing them back to their natural habitat.
That's right. This year alone here at SeaWorld Orlando, we have already released 26 manatees and 45 sea turtles. Let's give it up for our vet team and our rescue family. They're doing a fantastic job.
Those are phenomenal numbers, but we are not done yet. Now, through the dedication of our animal care staff, as well as compassionate individuals like yourselves, these stories of hope and healing continue to unfold every single day. Until next time, remember, cherish every tale. Within each one lies a story worth saving.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day here at SeaWorld.
All right.
All right, thank you, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get off the live. The next show will be the sea lions. I'll see you in about 15 minutes.